I've got 3 days. 3 days until my next market, and I have 0 original paintings to take. So in my classic chaotic fashion, I'm going to try and make as many original paintings as I can by Saturday. But first, I've got to go find something worth painting. I'm at the park right now to get some reference photos. The market on Saturday is for Earth Day, so it just makes sense to use nature for inspiration for these paintings. I was thinking about painting some flowers, but there's this little voice inside my head that says I'm not allowed to paint things that are popular and trendy, and do you know how many paintings of flowers exist in the world? Don't get me wrong, I love all of them, but my brain says I have to be different. I can't do what everyone else is doing. So as a compromise, I will paint flowers, but it's gotta be at least a little bit unique, like this. It's really just not as colorful here as I was hoping it would be. One single flower right here. Surprisingly, not a lot of flowers here since it's spring. Found a really cool tree. While the gardens were absolutely stunning, I was hoping for flowers being everywhere. Oh, there's turtles. I especially wanted some references for tulips, but unfortunately just a week before this, we had multiple days of bad storms and tornado watches that seemed to take the tulips out a little bit early this year. Eventually, after resorting to making my own flowers, I did start to find the other parts of the gardens that had more flowers, even though they weren't tulips. So I'm also going to use my phone to get some extreme wide shots. But switching to the phone didn't really help. I still was just not able to capture the reference photo that I was envisioning for these paintings. Okay, it's not flowers, but it might be better because this is what Monet was obsessed with. I finally snapped a reference photo I would love to paint. And as I continued down the path, I was finally in a part of the gardens with more flowers. Not the flowers I had hoped for, sure, but at least now I wouldn't be walking away empty-handed and $50 poor. It's kind of boring, but kind of pretty. And then it happened. I turned a corner and there was a perfect, beautiful little patch of tulips. I had the chance to make my vision come true. I gotta get the shot. They would take some adjusting in the painting process, but I had a reference of tulips like I wanted all along. And as a bonus, there were some irises only feet away. The only issue now seemed to be my ability to take the photo I wanted. It's almost what I want, except that the flowers aren't close enough together. I can only really get one flower in the photo at a time. I don't know. The irises were absolutely gorgeous in person, but I was really struggling to capture a photo that felt unique or interesting. And you could tell I was committed to trying. After a while though, I decided it was time to move on and explore the last few corners of the gardens I hadn't seen yet. I especially love these tiny bluish periwinkle flowers. Then I slowly made my way back to the entrance where the wilting tulips were, only getting distracted a few times. Possibly a ladybug, possibly an invasive species. There were a few tulips I could reach that looked pretty lively still, and from the right angle, even the background ones looked pretty fresh. That's when I got my favorite photos of the whole day and was officially ready to start painting. Looking at these photos, they're pretty good photos. They make nice photos, but I'm not sure they make nice paintings. I'm gonna have to, I just can't envision it, you know? I decided to start with the photo I was most excited about, the one that really embodied the entire idea for this whole project, since I was feeling worried. I always run into the issue where my ideas are bigger than my skills, so I have no idea if I'll pull any of these paintings off. I taped my Hanamiya paper to a board to prevent any warping and just used a mechanical pencil to get the shapes down. I'm sticking with my Winsor & Newton watercolors because I've used them for years, so hopefully that'll give me a leg up on not ruining this painting. It had been a while since my last traditional painting, so I was definitely dusting off those technical skills. I really enjoyed this color palette, but the painting overall still felt a bit soft to me, so I grabbed some white gouache to punch in a few highlights. Then I pulled out my colored pencils to tighten up the edges and bring out some of that structure. There is a decent chance that I am about to mess this painting up, but I really think it could be better with pen if I do it right. Wish me luck. I ended up being a little bit of a wuss with the pen, and I didn't go too hard with it. I just kind of refined some of the shadow areas, and honestly, I think that was a good decision. It allowed this painting to be more soft. And while I could definitely rip into and critique this painting like crazy still, I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out, and I'm excited for the next paintings that I will create tomorrow. Now, before I move on to day 2 of painting, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare, and say thank you for your continued support of my channel. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with over 1,000 classes in countless categories. These classes are designed by fellow creatives for creatives. They're industry experts sharing their wealth of knowledge on topics like video creation, painting, storytelling, entrepreneurship, and more. And they're for everyone, from beginner to advanced. This spring, I have personally been focused on refreshing my art practice and getting back to the basics of actually painting, as you can tell from this video. So I have been loving this class from Geo called Creative Drawing Challenge, 10 exercises to get inspired. It's helped me embrace the process and let go of some of the pressure I tend to put on myself about art. The exercises have been fun, freeing, and great for stretching my creative muscles. If you're also interested in developing your daily art habits or refreshing your creative routine, then Skillshare might be for you. The first 500 people to use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial, so get started today. I have been messing with this painting for well over an hour now, and it has occurred to me that I don't know how to paint, apparently. I just don't know how to paint. I've spent so much time doing digital work lately that I forgot how to paint, and plus I haven't worked with gouache a whole lot. So I hate this painting, and it makes me want to quit altogether. It's already dark outside again. This is only the second painting. I don't know who would buy this. I would not buy this. I just kind of feel like I'm wasting my time now. Like I could have been working on so many other things for this market, and instead I've just made trash. A 3-year-old could do this. I just really feel like I forgot how to paint traditionally like this. I don't know how I went from making that painting back there a year ago to making this, but I feel very unhappy. I just really feel like I forgot how to paint. It's amazing how sometimes all you need is to give it a second try. So now that I made a painting that I was actually happy with and built my confidence back up, it was time to make one more painting for the night. Good morning. It is the last day, my last chance to maybe make some paintings. And honestly, I actually only have a few hours. I'm actually going to set up my canopy this afternoon at 3 o'clock, which means I have about 5 hours to get 2 to 3 paintings done. Don't worry, I'm only slightly panicking. As I mentioned earlier, I have a fear of being basic. I think I spent a lot of time chasing this idea that I have to make something completely original, and honestly, it's kept me from making the art I want when I want. This is going to be the hardest painting I make all week because I have barely ever looked at a lily pad and now I'm trying to paint one. I don't know, but if I do it as well as I'm envisioning, it will be my favorite painting. We'll see. Just based on how the sketch is going so far, this is going to be a rough one. We all have these little inner critics that like to hold us back. I'm slowly teaching my brain that I don't have to invent a brand new art style or become the next Picasso to be a valuable artist. That kind of thinking comes from a place of scarcity, and it just shrinks your creativity. Really hoping I'm just in the ugly phase, and that it really is just a phase that's gonna go away. While I don't think the paintings I made here are as unique as I hoped, I could have experimented more, for sure. I'm proud of myself for not letting that fear stop me. These paintings still feel like my art. From the brushwork to the color choices, they're mine, even if the subject isn't groundbreaking. So I'm happy. I allowed myself to make something simple, popular, and yet they're still completely my own. Can't believe I was worried about the lily pads when water's the thing that's hard to paint. I had time for one more painting before I needed to set up for the market, and this time I gave myself a little more creative freedom. Remember those adorable blue forget-me-nots? They were already charming on their own, I know, but I couldn't resist adding a few bees. I think this brought a little more movement and story to the painting. With all the paintings ready, it was time to take them to the market and see if anyone might fall in love with one. A few hours in, I started second-guessing myself. Were the prices too high? The paintings too boring? But then, someone stepped up to the checkout holding one of the paintings. Can you guess which one? Before I reveal the lucky little painting to you, I just want to give the paintings their moment. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like so others can enjoy it too. And of course, thank you for watching.